So you need mirrors for your doors, but how do you attach them? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. So here we have a 4-panel shaker door attached to this wardrobe. What we need to do is measure the space that we want the mirrors to fit in, and then we can go ahead and order those, and I'll show you how they're attached after using mirror adhesive. First thing to do, grab a tape measure. What you want to do is measure the panels, so inside this section here. So we call these parts the rails, and this is the panel. So when you're measuring this, push your tape measure up to the top edge of the panel and check the measurement at the very bottom of the panel where it meets the next rail. So here I've got a number of 460, so 46 centimetres. Most glass suppliers will want millimetres, so make sure you do translate that into millimetres. So this is a 460 height panel. It's good practice to check every single panel to make sure they're all the same. In general terms they will be, but there can be some variations across different styles of doors. So on this one, I have pre-measured these and they are all the same. The second thing to do is to check your width. Exactly the same process. Put your tape measure across to one side of the panel and measure to the other side, and here I've got 468. So it's quite a square panel. With this measurement you do get though, you need to make sure you reduce it very slightly to allow a bit of wiggle room for the mirror to fit into the panel itself. So where this says 460, I would probably take this down to 458. And the same for the width, reduce it by a couple of millimetres, just so when you put the mirror in the panel, you can wiggle it about on the adhesive and get a better adhesion of that mirror to the door. So now we've got that, I'm going to send that over to the glass suppliers, get them to make me some mirrors, and I'll show you how to fit those when they arrive. Mirrors are now here, it's 2 weeks later. There's a bit of delay on the mirrors being made, but they're here now, ready to install. I've moved to another room because there's more space. In your house, what you'll need to do is just find an area where you can lay the door flat on the floor. It's the easiest way to get this done. So I brought the 2 doors in here. There's 2 doors on this wardrobe, there's 2 doors on the other one. I'll show you the other one, the difference between the 2 doors and how the mirrors attach. These 2 doors are ready for the mirrors to go on, so I'm going to lay them down. First things first, I'll lay the first one down. So having them laid down on the floor just gives you a nice stable area to work. The door won't be bowed, the door will be on a nice flat surface, and when you put the mirrors on they'll sit nicely. You've got something to push down on the mirror to get the adhesive to spread nicely behind the mirror, and then you can also stack your second door on top to do the second lot of mirrors, and then you can leave them overnight, and then by the next morning they'll be ready to put back on. So I'm going to grab the mirrors and show you the adhesive and get these on straight away for you. So these are the mirrors, it's just 4mm glass. What we asked for was a PAR finish, which is a polished all-round edge. So that means that the edge won't have the cracked look of broken glass, which they do when they cut the sheets to size. It will have a nice polished, clean edge, which means when you look into the edge of the mirror, you don't get a weird reflection. This way you get a perfectly straight line on the edge when you're looking at the mirror. So these are our mirrors, and you can offer them up for a test fit first. But we know these are right, so I'm going to go ahead and install these straight away. So what you need is mirror adhesive, and this is what mirror adhesive looks like. This is an older tube. You may have different styles in your suppliers, but this is the mirror adhesive we got from them. This is one of the newer tubes, which I'll show you now. So the newer tubes may look like this, or they may be a completely different brand. Either way, ask them what they recommend for this. Now I'm going to be using this caulking gun. It's an automatic battery powered one. However, you can use a normal caulking gun for this, exactly the same method. You just need to apply it away from the edges, but close enough that the mirror is stuck on there nicely. So I'll show you how that works to start with. So the first thing we need to do, work out which end we're going to work from. I'm going to work from this end, and I'm going to put mirror adhesive on each panel ready for the mirrors to go on. There's nothing else you need to do. Obviously make sure the panels are clean. If there's any oily residue on there, you'll need to get that off, but generally speaking you'll be doing this to new doors, so you shouldn't have that issue. So all we're going to do is do a square and then a cross in the middle. The square around the outside is just to hold the edges of the mirror in place, and the centre is just for a bit of added grip. So you don't need a lot on there. Bear in mind it's a flat surface, the mirror's completely flat. You're going to push them down nicely, spread the adhesive, and then it's on, you're good to go. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece. As you can see, it's not all the same on every panel, but the job is the same. It will stick the mirror to the door and they will not come off. So grab a mirror. I'm going to lay these all in now. It is important to test the fit before you start. Obviously double check your measurements before you order the glass. You cannot change it once it's been made without incurring extra cost, obviously. So that's all our glass in. It's really a simple process. That was quick as you could imagine. So we're going to push these down, wriggle them in to the panel. A little bit of pressure, push back and forth, and you feel a little bit of resistance. Where we measured the panel and we took off a few mil, you'll see a gap around the edge of the mirror between the mirror and the door edge. Now all you want to do is just try and equalise that gap so that you have a nice square looking mirror inside the space. Because we're stacking these, I'm going to take these blue buffers off the mirrors, because what we don't want to do is have the door on top interfere with the positioning of the mirrors that we've fitted. That's one door done. Now all we've got to do is lay the next door on top and repeat the process. That's it, it's as simple as that. Bit of mirror adhesive, put the mirrors in, it's all in the prep work. Make sure you measure the panel space correctly. I'm going to show you the other type of door, which is the vinyl wrap door. So on these doors you can see that round the edges there's a bit of a border. So on the vinyl wrap doors you don't get the square edge that you would have on a straight cut MDF door. So you can see there's a little bit of a border on these, like a gap between the mirror and the door. But as an overall look, you'll see you can't even see the difference between these doors and the ones we've just done, and they are two completely different doors. So overall you get a really nice finish, simple process of applying the mirrors using mirror adhesive.